Joining BYU Sports Nation right now, a man who didn't turn the ball over very much at all, especially as a senior quarterback at BYU, John Beck on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. John, good to have you back, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
At JBeck12 on the Twitter machine.
Somebody's on Twitter.
Woo! Hey, 1 week into your new Twitter live, how's your progression in the Twitter game?
It's a slow one. It's taken me a long time to figure this thing out, but it's all because of you guys. I never would have jumped on it if you didn't challenge me to it last week, so now I'm just still trying to figure it all out.
What's been harder, learning how to play quarterback, say, at BYU or Twitter right now?
Equally the same.
I want to compliment you on a tweet that you sent out. You went to the San Diego Chargers-Steelers game on Monday night, and you sent out a picture with Steve Young, and that got some serious love on Twitter. You're getting it. That was a touchdown pass, man.
I'm trying to put out some good stuff. You know, it was pretty cool to take my son there. Steve and my agent were down on the field, and let us get down on the field, and it was cool. And I thought, you know what, I just want to be able to share that because I know a lot of BYU fans love Steve, follow Steve, and know what type of a great guy he is, and I was kind of putting it on there to show just how awesome Steve is to somebody like me as well.
Let's talk about BYU's game this week against Cincinnati. What do you think of this matchup, first of all, between the Bearcats and Cougars?
Okay, so I've seen a little bit of Cincinnati. I actually watched a little bit of their game against Miami a few weeks ago. Just because I knew that BYU faced them during the season, I have to say when I watched the game, I didn't know that it was only a couple weeks away. There's some things that are impressive about them. I think team speed-wise, they have a lot of team speed. There were a few times that their quarterback made some impressive throws, and just like you said, there was a few times where they actually got lucky with some throws. There was a throw in the end zone one time that, it could have been an interception and it ended up being a touchdown. And I understand in football sometimes that happens because you're throwing it to a guy like how sometimes we use Mitch Matthews. We didn't make a throw to Mitch. That it could go either way, but we make the throw because it is Mitch. But there were some very risky throws made, and I think that because of that, BYU has a great opportunity to get some turnovers, just like you guys said.
John Beck with us on BYU Sports Nation, the former BYU quarterback, looking ahead to BYU in Cincinnati on Friday night. Tanner Mangum dealing with a hamstring situation. You played with a high ankle sprain in 2006, and I know they're different injuries, but kind of similar in that you're hobbled in the pocket. So what can BYU do to maximize Tanner Mangum despite the injury on Friday?
Well, I think Tanner does such a great job with his feet and throwing from the pocket. I actually just rewatched the game, and I'm so impressed with the way that he is throwing the ball from the pocket. The hamstring injury, I know what that feels like. I actually pulled my hammy a couple days before I did a workout for the St. Louis Rams coming out up for the draft. And, it will make it a little bit different in some aspects, but because he has such a strong arm, he's still going to be able to make a lot of the throws. Where it could hurt them is these last couple games you've seen them utilize Tanner out on the edge. And also Tanner does a great job improvising once the pocket does break down. So that's where he will be limited. And that's where you hope that in the heat of a game, he doesn't take off and re-injure it or make it worse. So that's kind of a delicate balance that they have to deal with. How much are they going to be able to actually get out of Tanner out on the edge? Because I do think that since the Michigan game, that has helped the offense quite a bit, is moving the pocket and moving Tanner within the pocket. So that's going to be something that it could change kind of their game plan, but at the same time, if we can just protect him inside the pocket, he does such an amazing job as a freshman from throwing within the pocket. So I think if we can shore up the pass rush and do well, we should be okay.
Did the Miami Dolphins know you had a pulled hamstring?
It was, I'm trying to think, I just can remember I did the workout actually at Arizona State University, and I used my friend who was their tight end to catch balls for me. I don't remember where that fell in relation to my workouts for other teams. I just remember I had been doing some training because I was a little disappointed in my Combine 40, and I thought, well, if I can do it at my pro day and get a better time, and then I pulled it, and I had this Rams workout a couple days later thinking, oh, man, what should I do? Should I call them and tell them I can't do it? But I felt like, all right, I'm just going to wrap it up and give it a try. So they're going to do some things. They're going to wrap it up. They're going to limit him. But it's really that arm strength that's the saving grace, because the ability to stand in there, not need to, fully step up into your throws, but just kind of be able to flick it from hash to far sideline, that helps. And Tanner has that ability. We've seen that already. So, if they can just put him in the position where he can stay in the pocket, I think he'll be fine.
Follow him on Twitter along with his almost 1,500 followers now. Wow, in 1 week, at JBeck12. You've played with an injury. Tanner now playing with injury. Walk us inside what that's like inside the mind of a quarterback, knowing that I'm not 100%, but I still want to go out there and play. What is the quarterback thinking during that?
Okay, so there's a little bit of a fun part to that because you've seen other people do it, and now it's your opportunity. And I know that sounds goofy. Maybe fun's not the right word, but I would just say, as a quarterback, your thought process is, as long as I can be out on the field, I want to be out on the field. The most difficult injuries for a quarterback to deal with are the ones that happen to your throwing arm. For me, I separated my shoulder my sophomore year in the first game, and it makes it difficult to even practice just basic throws because you can barely even throw the ball. So the throwing arm injuries are the worst. Aside from that, outside of that, I think every quarterback, there's something in you where, okay, this is a challenge, and I'm going to step up to the challenge. Does it make it more difficult? Definitely. Like my senior year, I was definitely limited the first half of the season because I just couldn't hardly push off with my back foot. I couldn't move sometimes. It makes it tough, but at the same time, I don't know what it is, but inside of you, when you know that you're having to overcome something to get out on the field and you want to still go out there and play your best, there's something inside of you that likes the challenge of it. And, there are times, though, when you may not make a play and you're saying, crap, I know that I could have made that if I wasn't injured. And those frustrations will be there as well, and I'm sure that he may have a couple throws or he may have a feeling where he wants to get out of the pocket, but he knows he can't, and they may not get a first down as a result, and then he'll go to the sideline and he'll know inside, if only I would be healthy, I know I could have made that play. That's a little bit of the hard thing you have to deal with, but at the same time, I think all of us that grow up watching quarterbacks, we've all seen the games, right? I was at the game in the Holiday Bowl for Texas A&M when I knew that Ty Detmer came off the field because he separated his left shoulder, and I knew he came back on the field with a separated left shoulder. Excuse me. And I remember thinking, if I ever get a chance to play injured, I'm going to make sure I do it because that's what Ty Detmer does. And I'm sure Tanner had those same experiences where you've seen somebody play with an injury. Now it's your turn, and you're going to go out there and you're going to accept the challenge and do the very best you can.
As Joe Beck, Ja Beck is the quarterback coach. Are you texting him at all to give any pointers, or is it no comms during the season?
Yeah, no, I really don't at all text Jason much during the season. I thought when BYU hired Jason, I knew it was going to be a really good hire. Jason was a guy, when I was there with him, I used Jason a lot because I didn't come from a background of a passing system in high school or anything like that. So everything was brand new to me when I got to BYU. In my sophomore year, Jason and I competed to be the starter, but once I became the starter, Jason was very good about kind of saying, okay, I understand you're the starter. I'm not going to sit there and hold a grudge, or I'm not going to not talk to you. And he came from a very West Coast passing junior college. And I tried to utilize that, saying, well, Jesus, if I can help me in any way, I want to do it. And we were like that all through the season. If anybody noticed during my senior year, especially during TV timeouts or when I came to the sideline, I would always bounce things off him. And I knew his journey, Jason, and I kept in touch when he went to LSU, when he went to Weber State. And I knew this was going to be a really good hire, also because of his personality. So I kind of just said, hey, I know Jason's good. He doesn't need any of my stuff. And I'm sure I read something where Tanner said how grateful he was to have Jason as a QB coach during the last couple of games. And I think it's because of all the things that Jason brings to the table. He has a very calm demeanor. And as a QB, those are the type of people you want to be around. Some of the hardest situations I was in as a pro were when my QB coach didn't have that demeanor, when my QB coach had a little bit of a more panicky, anxiety. It's hard when that person that does with you on a daily basis is like that. And that's the complete opposite from Jason's personality. So I stay away from him. I just let him do his thing.
Yeah, he's probably the most even-keel personality I have ever met in all of my interactions in life, and that's perfect to be a quarterback's coach. John, let's finish with this. How many points will BYU have to score to beat Cincinnati and their fifth-ranked offense in the country?
Okay, well, I would say that's going to be definitive on obviously what the turnovers. I mean, turnovers can kill a team. I'm hoping the Broncos' stream of 24 points holds up. It may not. It all depends on what the defense can do. To beat a team, if they get hot, if Cincinnati gets hot and they're not turning the ball over, this may be a shootout. This may be a 40-plus point game on both sides of the ball. But at the same time, I've seen many games where these high-powered offenses, if they turn the ball over 3 times, they may score less than 20 points. And we may only need to score, like Broncos thing, over 24 points. So, if we create turnover, 24 could hold up. If not, we're going to need to score probably more than that.
John, great to talk to you as always. Good luck on your Twitter progress. And if you do anything like you did last week, you're headed to the beach. So have fun at the beach in San Diego.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.